Ladies and gentlemen, American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. This day in history, Elvis died. And it's remarkable when you think about it. He was only 42. He looked like he was 61, my age. Isn't that wild? Elvis was only 42, 1977. I remember where I was. There is a lot of talk that Joe Biden, I called this from the beginning, that Joe Biden will resign at some point in time and allow Kamala to be president. I expect this could happen one of two ways. It could happen before the election, or it could happen after the election merely to give Kamala the title as the first woman president of the United States. It could happen. All right, Trump had a no-holds-barred press conference in New Jersey at his Bedminster resort. He came out, made a lot of very accurate statements, and then he took questions. It's about an hour and a half. And you know, one of the things he said, he felt like he was entitled to attack Kamala Harris. Folks, he had to attack Hillary. Completely different, all these people will say he shouldn't make personal attacks. No, he should bring up the policy problems and attack. They're attacking the hell out of him. You know, you don't think they're not going to keep up the attacks on him? If you unilaterally stand down, you get beat. Plain and simple. There's going to be 2 presidential debates and 1 vice presidential debate. Trump leads Harris in Michigan by a point. That's a good sign. J.D. Vance, apparently his poll numbers aren't as good as Trump, but it doesn't make any difference. RFK Jr. came out and said he's definitely not going to endorse Kamala. And this is the big controversy, whether he asked, because they claim he did, he denies it, asked for a cabinet position. Reverend Franklin Graham is pissed off that good old Kamala is trying to mislead people by using an evangelical for Harris with his photograph. These people are shameless, folks. Shameless. Michigan working class. They're not very happy about Kamala Harris. And I expect Trump to do well there. Harris' housing plan that she's going to be releasing is economics. We already found out about the price fixing, the price ceilings. She says she wants to guarantee 3 million units at $25,000 down. See what Kamala Harris does? She can't help herself. She's not going to change. Throws our money around is her economic plan. Social Security numbers were hacked. Apparently like 3 million of them. I mean, something crazy number of them. Marco Rubio compared Harris to Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro. I agree with the analogy. This is wild. Biden and Harris this week, and in Maryland 2 days ago, were bragging about reducing drug prices. Okay, well, every other price went up. By the way, I'm not giving them credit for that, but I'm just saying everything else went up. By the way, electricity is going up, and I just read this morning, foreclosures are up 18%. Biden economic plan will include an oversight federal bureaucracy to control food prices. How do you think that's going to work out? Trump came out yesterday at Bedminster and had all these items. He's getting into tune with what TikTok does, right? All those items, inflation, good for him. The Democrats still haven't updated their party platform. It's still Biden-Harris. And their convention begins Monday. Household debt is surging across this country. Also not good. You can't make this up. The last Denny's is closing in San Francisco, and they are now closed in all blue cities. Surging electricity. Electricity is going to be up 20%. Thank you, Harris. Thank you, Joe. Ray is not releasing, and Mayorkas is not releasing more information about the Iranian agent assassination plot against Trump. Tulsi Gabbard called Kamala Harris an empty suit. She is. And remember, it was her at that Democratic debate back in 2019 that took good old Kamala out. Governor Walz, let Minnesota burn, Minneapolis burn. You know who's saying that? Minnesotans. And I just saw something where his government gave $20 million, or $2 million, or was it 200,000? I forget the number. It was a very big number to an organization that was Muslim Taliban related. Can't make it up. Biden and Harris, they want to have unity while Biden yesterday in their first joint appearance ripped Trump. Globally, U.S. theme park costs are surging and people are not attending. Why? The economy. And the Secret Service wants bulletproof glass for outdoor rallies for Trump. Why? Because they sure as hell can't protect him. Are they going to have bulletproof glass all around him? It's ridiculous. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a gleeking harpy swain. Ladies and gentlemen, American Jew and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. Covington Commission has voted for medical cannabis in 2025. Teens wrecked and made $10,000 of damage at the Ohio Brown County Fairgrounds. Shame on you, teens. Governor Beshear has announced that the largest build-ready industrial site is now in Henderson, Kentucky, in western Kentucky. Maybe we'll land a big plant. And a father was shot dead by a neighbor over a daughter touching mulch. That's insane. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, Bulldog Nation. Jamie Spindley here with Eric Deters World News. Today's headlines. Sicily's Mount Etna erupted yesterday, spewing ash and gases into the atmosphere. The eruption led to the closure of Catania Airport as ash particles settled on the runway, rendering it unusable and forcing the cancellation of all incoming and outgoing flights. Sweden has confirmed the first case of a more severe strain of Mpox typically found in Africa. The individual contracted the virus whilst in a region experiencing a major outbreak. The news comes shortly after the World Health Organization declared the African outbreak a public health emergency. In other news, in anticipation of Typhoon Ampil's arrival, Japan has cancelled hundreds of flights and suspended many train services in Tokyo area. The storm, which has strengthened to a Category 4 equivalent, is expected to impact the region with significant force. And an 18-year-old man and a 19-year-old woman in the United Kingdom have been charged with terrorism offences. The charges stem from an investigation into suspected extreme right-wing terrorist activists. That's all I have for today. You all have a fantastic weekend from the staff and I. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Jew and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Well, the Brewers are in first place, but we got some good news. Bad news for Christian Yelich. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. He's decided to have back surgery. He's their best player. Hope springs eternal. Royals and Reds go at it today if it's not rained out. I think the rain's going to stop. Eagles 14, Patriots 13 in preseason game Thursday night. Derek May played pretty well for the Patriots. Bengals running back Chris Evans has torn patella tendon, out for the year. This was in the practice with the Chicago Bears. Major League Baseball apparently is considering a 6-inning minimum for starting pitchers. That's interesting. Sam Ponder was fired, we think, for transgender athlete comments from ESPN. Robert Griffin III was also fired. Hawk Tua threw out yesterday the first pitch at the Mets game. You believe this? Hawk Tua, a woman who's gained fame by saying what you're supposed to do with a man's willy whacker, that's her only claim to fame. It's unbelievable. Retired NASCAR driver Kurt Busch says he's embarrassed. He got a DUI this week. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, American Jew and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. Matthew Perry, who passed away, and they've arrested 5 people, including the woman that apparently provided the ketamine, his assistant. Mueller was not arrested. And apparently they showed some texts that were calling him a moron and everything else. I got 2 views of this. Actually, maybe 3. View number 1, and I think this is important, is that I don't have any issue with them charging drug dealers for murders when their customers die. I'm okay with that. Issue number 2, do you think average Jane and Joes out there got this type of attention? No. Just the way the world is, but it bothers me a little bit. Then issue number 3, which I shared with my son, and he kind of agreed with me. You know, Matthew Perry, he was kind of a mess. And he wasn't somebody that didn't have access to help and assistance and everything else. So, I don't know. I'd have to hear all the facts before I found somebody guilty over this. All right, astronauts. They might be stuck. They sent to the space station, and they're supposed to just stay there a little while. Apparently, they may not be able to come back till 2025. They're talking about how that might affect their bodies. Greg Kihn. I hate that he died at 75 of Alzheimer's. Remember the song Jeopardy? One of my favorite songs. That's right. And the breakup song, too. I love both of those hits. Wally Amos, founder of Famous Amos Cookies, passed away at 88. I love Famous Amos Cookies. There's apparently a longevity test that you can do you can hang from a bar. And if a man can hang more than 60 seconds, he's going to live long. I'm going to be doing that test over the weekend. I think women's 30 seconds. Kevin Spacey's $3.24 million mansion sold, but he won't move out, according to the buyer. And Willie Nelson's releasing his 153rd album called The Last Leaf on the Tree, and the title song, first song, is Last Leaf. Willie must realize this is his last leaf. I love the metaphor. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.